Welcome back. Bruce Porter joins us now for this week's Dollars and Cents. Good to see you once again.
Glad to be here.
Sorry I missed the chickens last week.
Oh, it was awesome.
Check our website for the little chickens. And compounding. It was a great lesson, I'm sure.
Oh, it was good.
Yeah, I got to check that one out. All right, we're going to take a look now at today's question. My husband is changing jobs after 20 years with the same company. Can he move his 401k to his new employer? Now, we've talked about the rollover, we've talked about the transfer. This is something entirely different.
Right, it is. You know, a lot of people are faced with that. They're either downsized or they've lost their job. Now, what do I do with that old money? Should I roll it over to my new company if you got lucky enough to get a job that offers those benefits? That's certainly an option. It really depends on the administrator of the new 401k. Sometimes they will accept rollovers or transfers into that. Sometimes they won't. So it just kind of depends on that employer. Now, that's not necessarily the reason why you should or should not. You should think maybe it's a time in life where I could secure part of my retirement. And, you know, with the hardship rules on 401k, it makes it a lot harder to access that money.
Exactly.
So now if I rolled out my 20-year 401k into an individual retirement account,
An IRA.
and then I position that safely with growth without risk type product, and now I've got a secure portion of my portfolio. Now I start up my new 401k, and I build that up more aggressively, so now you've got a good mix. You know, the key is to make sure that you think through at this stage in your life, what are my goals, objectives, and priorities? What am I trying to accomplish right now?
Yeah, so you would essentially have two, sort of, but you'd roll the first one into an IRA, you would have the second one, but do you want to get more aggressive with the second one after you've been 20 years in the workforce? It's not saying you're old or anything, but...
Well, it depends. If you wanted to, you could. You know, brokerage always talks about opportunities when the markets are fluctuating. I wouldn't want to risk my entire life savings or my entire retirement account, but if I've secured my other one, now I can be a little bit more liberal with what I'm doing, and it'll make you a more well-rounded portfolio. Instead of just having everything in all of those different funds. I've yet to meet somebody that said, yeah, I picked those 37 different funds that I'm in. They don't. People rely on other people to direct them.
Yes.
So rather than having it all exposed to that, you might consider securing it, having that as your safe aspect, and then move on with your new one and be more aggressive. I think that would be a good mix.
I'll be honest with you, that is not something that I would have thought of doing. Now, when you roll the first one over or you move it into an IRA, do you pick all new securities where it's sitting at that point? Is it a whole new product at that point? Or
Well, it is. It's a whole new product, and that's only if you want to go to securities. You could take a safer road.
Because it's not always. Okay.
Right. A lot of people are transitioning to the tool. These are all tools.
Sure.
More secure environment, growth without risk, guarantees, guaranteed income, the things we've discussed in our planning process.
Annuities, bonds,
use
whatever.
Annuities, use a more conservative type portfolio. That's not to say you can't get good growth. You can on those products, but you certainly are going to protect it against this downside or potential downside. You know, a lot of different opinions on where the market's at, where it's going. Is it going to correct? Is it not? And again, I'm not sure I want to risk my life savings on that.
I don't think anybody wants to do that, but that's nice to know there are options, and I truly hadn't ever really considered that, but people do tend to switch jobs, so this might be something they could consider. How's the market doing right now? Not bad.
Market's not doing bad. The market is kind of doing this. I think the election process is having some effect on it. I think globally, I think there's a lot going on. And there's a lot going on behind the scenes we don't know about. But, you know, the market, I'm not sure it knows where it's going right now. So, you know, granted, with approaching a decade of low interest, but yet we've got record market levels, it doesn't make a lot of sense. So there's a lot going on with that, a lot of uncertainty, a lot of volatility.
Yeah.
And again, that's the reason, ask an expert, get some help. We'll be glad to sit down and figure it out.
What your risk tolerance is before you get on that roller coaster and find yourself you're really a little bit too sick. You didn't anticipate all that. All right.